Hello, everyone. Welcome to MT4Professional. My name is Randy Lindsay. I am the host of today's live interactive presentation. Today, we're going to be talking about trading strategies using the MT4Professional scanner. I want to make sure everyone here knows that we are here for educational purposes only, that MT4Professional is not a registered trading advisor, so we cannot give you specific trade advice. But what we can do is train and educate you on the proper use of our platform on the live edge of the market so that you can develop a trading plan using your own strategies that can be both profitable and successful. Trading with futures, stocks, forex, options, and cryptocurrency has a large potential for reward, but also has a large potential for risk. You need to know the risks in order to trade in these markets. So please don't trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Past performance is not indicative of future results, so make sure that you get advice from a competent financial advisor before you start trading or investing in any of these markets. Never trade in a live account until you have first proven you can consistently trade in a simulated account. Only then can you work on the mind game, and that's where the rubber meets the road. As I said before, my name is Randy Lindsay. I'm your trade coach, operations director here at MT4Professional. Joining me today is Claudio Cardinale. He's our product development director and our all things technology guru. So if you have any questions from us today, we're here to answer them and to help you get going on your MP4 journey. Today, we're going to talk about trading strategies using MT4Professional. We're going to talk about a market scanner and what it is and how it relates to MT4Professional. I will give you a live demonstration of our platform, and I'll make a very special offer for those who want to get started using it today. And of course, throughout today's presentation, we have Q&A to answer any questions you might have or to demonstrate how to solve anything that you might be addressed or finding on your platform. So let's get right into it. There are many popular trading strategies today. EMA and price is probably the most popular. It's just pure price action with a single moving average, usually an exponential moving average. A simple strategy that looks at the price relative to that EMA to determine bullish or bearish trends or to determine entry and exit points. MACD and signal is also very popular. It looks at the moving average convergence divergence signals between two different moving averages using a histogram type approach with a moving average signal line or couple that with a moving average in order to make more informed decisions. Moving average crossovers are simply just two moving averages that can cross over each other. EMA and price, MACD, and signal with relative strength. Multiple indicators and strategies can be combined. Whatever your real-time strategies are, we can put them together and use them. These are just some of the more popular ones that we will be covering today to cover most people's expectations. But if you have any questions with regards to your specific strategy, just let me know, and I'll be glad to look at it during today's presentation. The MT4Professional scanner can scan in real time all of these strategies, plus many more, and alert you when the conditions are met for trading success. So we're going to launch into a couple of polls now. Claudio, go ahead and put the first two out, and I'll be glad to go through those. If you're currently using MT4Professional, I'd like to know. So please let me know if you are. If you are not, let me know why. That would be great. I am definitely using it and I love it. But let me know what your specific results are. As soon as the good percentage of people in the class have polled and answered the polls, then we'll go ahead and share the results with you. All right. Over half the class are already using MT4 Professional, so that's great. Then I would expect some questions from you. You're here today to learn more about it. You've probably heard the presentation before, but I want to make sure and answer any questions that you might have specifically on the use or application of the system. The others who don't want to know more or haven't used it yet, hopefully through today's presentation, you'll be able to get a taste and understanding of what the system's like and how we can use it to set up your own strategy and signals that you use. Awesome. Thank you. There are other polls that you think would be good to launch now, Claudio? If so, go ahead, and not, I'll just move forward. All right. So what is a market scanner and what is MT4 Professional? So if you look at the 50 different Forex pairs that are on MT4, 20 CFDs, 9 timeframes, that's more than 630 combinations to check and to look for potential trade opportunities. Do you really think that you're able to do this manually? Do you think that you can miss a trade if you're sitting there looking at 1, 2, 3 different instruments when the 4th, 5th, and 6th instruments are already moving and you don't even know about it? So you're missing a lot of opportunities. Well, trading on different instruments really is important in order to make trading profitable. In fact, trading uncorrelated instruments is a way to remove uncertainty of an instrument and diversify your portfolio. So a perfect solution for this is a market scanner. Now, market scanner is an automatic tool that allows you to scan the whole market universe, not just 1, 2, or 3 instruments, but all the instruments for any symbol or time frame that matches your own custom criteria and standard and rules using standard or custom indicators. So while it's not a signal provider per se, it is a tool that you use that allows you to analyze strategies that you want on instruments you're interested in using the indicators at your disposal. So a simple example is the cross of 2 moving averages. If you look at this image on the right, you can see different symbols and a spreadsheet type layout showing different colors and different time frames. So for any specific time frame or any instrument, I want to see whether my strategy has gone bullish or bearish. In this case, the strategy is a bullish cross or a bearish cross. A bullish cross, I want to see a green cell. That's when the 15 period moving average crosses over or greater than the 30 period. And I want to see a red cell if it's a bearish cross, which is the 15 period crossing less than the 30 period. So this is just a simple cross. And so I need to be able to compare and look at the moving averages in real time and determine whether the cross has occurred. And then when it does occur, I want to be notified of it. So if I had a scanner that could do this for me, whatever instruments I wanted in a very easy to see visible layout to tell me whether I'm bullish or bearish, so that I can very quickly rifle through all of the instruments at my disposal, that would be a viable tool. So Market Scanner then does all the work for you so that instead of looking for or searching through instruments yourself, you're going to be spending your time on more important things like managing your trade or getting your mindset where it belongs or playing with your children. I mean, the Market Scanner is going to search all of these things based upon your rules and your own strategies. Then it will alert you when the conditions are met for a more favorable trade entry. So another example here, using a EMA and price example, where you've got price action relative to a moving average. A bullish cross giving me a green signal on my spreadsheet layout then would be when price is greater than that exponential. It's shown strength and it's crossed over the EMA. A red cell then would indicate a bearish setup where the price has gone below the EMA. So in a glance, for whatever instrument I choose and whatever time frame I see, then I'll be able to know that there's a trend of weakness over on a longer term trend of strength. And here is an overall trend of strength. Here you have a cycle where you've got longer terms is long, shorter term just went long, the midterm is still red. So the chances of this turning back green are much higher probability than the reverse. And so we're looking for this to return to a solid longer trend. But likewise, these look like potential reversal trades because you see a trend of red building into a longer term green trend showing a high probability reversal. So these are ideas and strategies that people use in order to see that. And you can look at this and analyze the results rather than spending all your time on just a single instrument with several charts. So I mentioned multiple timeframes several times. And so if you look at this, multiple timeframe technical analysis enables you to have higher probability of ending with a profitable trade. It's due to correlation, and it's just one of the advantages of using multiple time frame technical analysis. So if you look at the image here on the right, I've got a 4 hour, a 1 hour, and a 15-minute. This is the same chart, but it's broken down by different periods of time. So the 4 hour is showing definite trends and corrections within a period of time. Within the exact same period of time, you can see the 1 hour is much choppier. The 15-minute is even choppier than that. Some would even say noisy. And so trading, if you're trading on a 15-minute chart, then if you're trading in the direction of the longer term trend, you're going to have a higher probability that the trade will end profitably, and you're going to have lower risk in your trade because you're going to be trading with the trend. You're going to be avoiding the counter trends, or if you are taking the counter trends, make sure that you keep your profit targets short, and you're always going to be taking your profits out before the trend does change, because there will be eventual corrections that do come in, but you want to see that first before you start trading them. So a market scanner that could search for these types of setups based upon your own rules and verified by multiple time frame technical analysis, that would be a very valuable tool. So here's a good example of that. Looking at a 4 hour, a daily, and a weekly time frame setup, you can see the crosshairs where the price has crossed over the EMA. That's a bullish configuration setup. Then you can see on the MACD, you've got a histogram crossover of a signal line. That's a bullish cross. You can also see rising relative strength coming out of an oversold condition. That's the setup that I want to be able to see using my strategy. I want the strategy to give me a green indication when this occurs. The second time frame, then, I'm not necessarily as interested in the price action crossing over as I am in a MACD cross or a relative strength increasing. So rising relative strength and a MACD cross would be sufficient to validate the initial cross here. And the third time frame, I really need to see that the relative strength is still rising. I need to see relative strength on the longer time frame rising and growing to validate this as a high probability trade. So if that was the case, and this was verified by the setup that you see on the crosshairs, the trade would have resulted in over 300 pips of profit. And that's a really nice trade setup. So by taking trades in harmony with the longer time frame, I get lower risk trade opportunities and higher probability trades. It's a powerful combination for any trader, and it shows you the importance of using multiple time frames in your trading. So market scanner using multiple time frame analysis is an extremely valuable tool because it does all of the hard work for you automatically. The problem that we ran into as traders was that we looked and could not find any scanners on either MT4 or MT5. And the few we did find turned out to be too complex to configure, which meant, you had to have a programmer or you had to know programming in order to use them. They were unstable. or a single tool that really didn't integrate well with the whole system. A lot of them weren't compatible with the indicators that were freely available on MT4, MT5. So with all those issues, we decided the solution was to create our own. And that's how we created MT4Professional and the MT4Professional scanner. Today, because of the interest that's been involved, it's the #1 scanner on MT4 and MT5. It's a tool that allows you to instantly scan the entire market for setups that match your own unique criteria and rules. And when you find a good setup, it can even allow you to enhance that trade with multiple timeframe technical analysis, which really is not easy to do on MT4 or MT5. So let me get you into a live demonstration on this right now. Are there any questions before I progress? Make sure that we get into this. So use the questions pane or the chat box in order to ask your question. And that would be best. So let me get my MT4 platform going. This is standard MT4. This is not MT4Professional. I wanted to show you some of the things we have improved using the platform. On standard MT4, you can see even with multiple time frames that I have to drag and drop a symbol onto every chart in order to change. So I'm not integrated with my watch list. I can't click on this anywhere and change these. I have to physically change it by dragging and dropping. Also, if I want to resize the windows, if I were to go into full screen, notice all the real estate that doesn't automatically get resized. That's kind of a pain. Also, I'd like to be able to do multiple time frame analysis to determine at which point, like right here, did I see a bottom and reversal and a break of a trend. So it's at this point right here that I'd like to see on all 3 charts that this actually occurred. Well, unfortunately, I don't see exactly where that occurs. I have to move my mouse over and look at the time. And then I have to go over to this chart, move my mouse over and look at the time to find out. Actually, the time came in right there. So let me turn this off. No, there it is right there. Right there. See that? That's where the time occurred right there. And so that's the same chart on that time. So to see that on the hourly chart, then there it is right there. So I need to be able to see that correlated with all 3 charts. That's just really difficult to do on MT4 or even MT5. So let me go ahead and launch MT4Professional by pulling up my profile for MT4Professional. First thing you'll see, it'll launch into a configurations menu. A configurations menu is where we always start so that you can load up whatever configuration you want to use at the start of your day. Because many times you'll want to go and change your configurations and move from one to the other all at the same time. MT4Professional comes with 14 different pre-configured presets that allow you to use these strategies right off the bat in your trading. We even allow you the opportunity to share and exchange strategies with each other in a network for traders. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the EMA and price, which is usually the first one. This is the default one. You have the option of either loading it or editing it. The first time you come in and see these things, you will not have any that you've created for yourself. You will have them all listed under the presets. If you select one of these, then you notice that you will not have an edit button. It won't allow you to edit any of the pre-configured presets. But what you can do is click the Create Your Custom Configuration button. Then you can select any of the ones you've already created or any of the presets, and what it will do is it'll create a copy of the preset for you, and it'll pull it up in there. So I'm not going to create a new one. I'll just go ahead and go from the one I've already created and load it. Once loaded, you'll see that the charts automatically populate with the first symbol on my symbol list, and it'll start scanning, looking at the different timeframes that I've told it to scan for using the strategy that I asked it to do. And the strategy in this case is the price, action, and exponential moving average. So anytime price is greater than the EMA, I want to see a green cell on my spreadsheet. Anytime it's less than, I want to see a red cell on the spreadsheet. So you can see at this point here, green cell, red cell, red cell. So in this case, this bar has not closed yet. This bar has closed. It was below the line, so you would see a red bar. This previous bar has closed and this one has closed. If I told it to look at the current price, then it would be changing every time price went above or below. But I'm only looking at the currently closed bar, not the currently open one. So if I'm looking at the price, in this case right here, you can see price is over the bar, but it's still moving, which means this price has not closed. I'm looking at the previous bar, which has. So I see a red, green, green. In this case, I've got a red, green, green. All right, so it gives you a solution there. Notice also that each one of these charts are different time frames, and that the crosshair that you see right here shows me the correlation of both time and price on all three time frames. So not only do I get accurate representation on all the time frames, but I can see exactly where the correction occurs or when I need to start looking at exiting this trade as price has gone into a consolidation mode. Next thing I want you to see is that when I go into a full screen setup, notice all of the blank space that was outside of this was taken away and automatically filled, and all of the charts are resized proportionally, not individually, because notice that each of the windows are different sizes. And so I want to keep that aspect ratio, and it automatically does that for me, even when I go back up. And single click integration with my list allows me to click on any symbol that I see on the list and change the setup to those symbols directly. So I love the integration of that, and I love the setup and the integration of the charts with the timeframes. So if I want to go in and look at how these are done, then just simply go into your select configuration button, click the edit button, and then you can see how the charts were set up. Notice the charts are set up in a really easy to use drag and drop type setup where you can change these. You can add a chart, you can tile them, you can change the time frames to any time frame available on the system. You can change the templates by the current one that's saved from the cloud, or you can load any that are available to you on your platform right here. And then when you save it, it'll load it to the cloud as well. If there's any one that you don't want, then just click the X to delete it. And if you retile the charts, then it'll, since it's an odd number, it'll make one larger than the other two. It'll reposition them and so forth. So if you don't like the way that you have your setup, you can just clear them all and start over. So it's real simple and easy to set up and to configure. On the left-hand side is the scanner panel. Now the scanner panel is the area that's over here on the left. Let me close this and show that right here. This right here is our scanner panel, and this is the chart area. So if I were to go to the scanner panel, on the left-hand side, I can edit and change any of the symbols very easily. You can see on the left-hand side are all of the symbols that are available to you from your broker on your MT4 or MT5 platform. All you have to do is just select one that you want, click the right arrow button to add it to the list. And if it isn't the correct one, you accidentally click the wrong one, just get rid of it. If you want to clear all the ones that are on there and then start from anything else over here, like I just want only Euro-based symbols, then I can go through and take all of my Euro symbols and add those to the list. If I don't like those, I can always start from another configuration. So say that I had this one, then it'll automatically bring the symbol list from the previous configuration and load it into this one. Okay, very, very easy to use and simple. If you go into the scanner panel again, instead of clicking on the symbol icon, you can click on the scanner icon, and this will show you the actual color rules that we use to change the colors of our spreadsheet cell layout. So the main color rule for the 5-minute time frame, or 15-minute, or any time frame that you want to use, you can add multiple time frames, or you can get rid of them and use as many or as few time frames as you want. To edit that same time frame rule, then click on the icon with a pencil and a pad. That's the edit icon. And that allows you to change the color rule logic. In this case, condition set 1, which is our bullish configuration, and we've set the color to green. You can set that color to be any color that you like, using either standard available colors or advanced color palettes that you can choose any color that you like. A bullish condition will look at operators with comparing item A and B. I'm looking at the close of price being greater than or equal to a 15-period exponential moving average. So if I were to pull up and edit that particular indicator, you can see I can change the parameters of that indicator to be anything that I like, using any of the available information at my disposal. I can even shift the indicator to previous values if I want to look at historical values that have already occurred in the past. Also, I can set up the price to be the closer price or any other price. If I were to edit that one, you can see that there's no parameters on this particular one, but if I were to add a new setup, you can see that the indicator, if I'm looking at price only, then I have access to the current price, the open, high, low, and close values. So I can choose any of those parameters to look at and compare with any of the indicators. So say that I didn't want price in this case, say that I wanted to have a trend indication. Well, in this case, you can see the moving average was part of the trend indicators, or the Ichimoku, any of my Bollinger Bands, the ADX, whatever indicator is available on your system, they will come in the standard indicators list. Now, if you have a custom indicator that you have written yourself or that you've purchased from a third-party vendor, then you would use the pick from your computer button, and then it will take you to your MQL folder and allow you to go through and select the indicator that you specifically want to use and load it into the setup. Okay, any questions so far? Trying to cover this in as much detail as possible. So condition set 1 is that if this close is greater than the 15, it will color the cell green and stop, and it'll go to the next time frame. If this condition was false, that means the price wasn't greater than or equal to, then it's going to check to see if the price is less than. And by default, if it's not greater than or equal to, it has to be less than. But in this case, it'll check. If it's true, it'll color the cell red. If there's ever a condition where condition A and condition B, or condition set 1 or 2, if neither of these are true, then the default color will be used. And notice the main color rule is applied and turned on to all 3 of the time frames I have. Now, if I want to use a different time frame, all I have to do is just click that plus sign. Notice it automatically entered a new time frame here. I can change that to be any time frame that I want to use, and I activate the color rule by selecting and turning on the color rule that I have. Now, in this case, there's only one color rule, so there's no choice, but you can have as many color rules as you want. So you can select any of the different color rules that you have. And I've got some examples that go through that and show them to you. Once you've completed and saved everything, let me go ahead and edit that, and I'll show you real quick. Click the Save button, and it'll give you, it'll back up the information on your computer and to the cloud, and it'll allow you to reload the same information from that most recent save. Anytime you save or change your strategy, then click the load button, because it will automatically update any changes that you've made to the system. If you don't click the load button after you've made changes, then it will not load any changes onto the screen. You always have to click the load button to make sure you've got a fresh load and that the information downloaded from the cloud is correct. One additional thing while we're here, if you click the edit button, notice in the bottom right-hand corner, there is a share icon available to you. Well, this makes it available so that you can share any configuration that you've created with any other user on the MT4 platform, including all the people you work with, your trading buddies and so forth. You can just one click, open this up, search for them. Once you find them, then just click the share button and it automatically shares this configuration parameters with them. And if you scroll down to the bottom of your parameter list, you can see there is a received or inbox. Well, these are parameters or configurations that have been sent to me from someone else, and that's where they'll appear for you if someone were to send you one. Any other questions? All right, go into one other configuration then. We'll be looking at a MACD. This is showing how you can have multiple configurations and multiple timeframes. Here is a longer time frame, 4-hour, daily, and weekly. Okay. Also, I'm going to click the select configuration button and edit. Then I want to show you that the scanner can be configured such that there are multiple rules involved, where I'm not using the one of the color rules for some time frames, but I am using them for others. So those are some instances where you can have more than one indicator. Here, let me show you how I do that. Here I've got my signal rule. I'll edit that. And so you can see I have more than one indicator that I'm looking at. And you can select as many indicators as you want, or as many parameters as you want to check. And in this case, I'm looking at the MACD histogram and the MACD signal line. I'm looking at the close of price relative to that 15-period exponential moving average. And I'm looking at historical relative strength price relative to the current relative strength. So I'm looking to see if the trend is rising or falling. And the historical price is using the shift parameter. So I'm shifting it back by 2 price bars in history and comparing it to the current price bar to see if I'm trending. So because if the previous one is less than the current one, it's going down. If the previous one is greater than the current one, I know it's going up. All right, so I'm going to pull up a browser. Let's see, there it is. Now, this is a browser. So say that I'm working at my desk and I need to go out for lunch or something. I want to be able to check my scanner while I'm out in a way. So it's continue to leave it running on your platform, but you walk away. Well, if you log into the MT4Professional website and you go to the menu item that asks for the real-time scanner, then pull that up, then you'll see a choice of whatever accounts that you have running. Now, in this case, I'm going to pull up the platform that I have listed, and you'll see a scanner pop up over on the left-hand side. Notice that this scanner here on my mobile device, could be my phone, could be my laptop, whatever it might be, automatically pulls from the cloud the information that you have running on your computer. This is an exact representation of the scanner. So if I click on my mobile device, any of the instruments that have triggered a trade for me, then what it will do is it'll automatically change the symbols on the chart and take a snapshot for me and send it to me. So I'll go ahead and click on the Aussie US dollar here on my mobile device. It changes it on my laptop or on my computer back in my office, updates it for me right now. And now you can see why I would be interested in taking this as a potential breakout trade. So this one right here is just what I wanted to see in order for the setup to be done. And if this is the case, then I can just contact my broker. I don't have to go back to the office, and I can go ahead and take the trade from that point. So it's very easy to use, very easy to see, and to you're not tied down to your computer in any way. So that's why you want to be able to take it with you wherever you go. Now you can do this on any platform that you like. If you have multiple instances of MT4 running on different consoles, then you can use and pull up any specific account that you have access to. Within the members area, there's also a knowledge base. It allows you to go through and look at the quick start videos, how to install or uninstall MT4Professional, whether you're a Mac user or not, how to use that, or how to integrate from some of the older software, how to set up and configure the configurations using the rules and the examples that we've shown you throughout the presentation. And you can also set up your billing and any license information in there as well to show you how to do that, how to set up, how to cancel, how to change your subscription plan and rate and so forth. So everything is listed right there for easy access in the members area knowledge base. You just simply get to that from MT4 Professional's main website, MT4Professional.com, click the sign in button, use the login information that we send in your email when you sign up, and you'll have access to all of this information. To download the software, if you go back to the main page, that's the main website page. That changed. We'll go back to the home here. Then these are the onboarding steps that allows you to go through and change your password, download the software, get credit for referring clients, get the help center, join our Skype group. These are all the things that are included on your subscription. So speaking of the subscription, let me go ahead and jump on over to that real quick. So I want to make you a special offer today as being part of my class. So for a limited time, we're making all of the MT4 and MT5 software available to you, the full features, not a limited set. We're making available to you our full Skype community where you have access to all the users on the MT4 environment. You have access to unlimited configurations and storage in the cloud, unlimited emails and push notifications, and up to 100 SMS notifications to your cell phone or device. You get all 14 of our pre-configured presets. We've considered that to be a really good monthly value. We've reduced that to $194 per month, but we normally reduce that even more to 50% of that, which is $97 a month. Well, since Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday is coming up soon, we have a holiday. We always like to give you a good discount, so we've knocked this off even more. So a full 70% off of the already 50% off discount gives you a $23 per month subscription. Use the code MLK23 to lock in your $23 per month subscription rate. The link is mt4professional.com/trial. Make sure you use the code MLK23. Claudia always put that in the webinar chat for you to easily click on and to copy and paste. So when you click on the link and go to the website, then enter the code in the coupon section in order to lock in this discount. Now, this discount is a lifetime subscription rate, which means it's not going to go away next month. It's not going to go away in 3 months or a year. It's going to be for the life of your subscription. It'll only go away if you cancel your subscription. You also get 14 days to try risk-free. 14 days before your credit card will be charged. In order to use this, that's plenty of time to download the software, get it set up, get it used. If you need any help in the meantime, you can always contact us. We give you one-on-one coaching and installation on onboarding. So make sure you contact us at support@mt4professional.com if you do need any assistance in any way in getting going. But as I showed you earlier in the members area, most of the information is right here at your fingertips that you can get the information that you need at any time that you need it. And you also have access to our Skype chat group so that you can interact with all of the other members in the Skype users group anytime that you want to. Now, it is a 24/7 users group, so people are in and out of there all the time, depending upon the time frame that they're on. So if there's not a lot of activity, that's because not a lot of people are probably there. They might be either sleeping or out, or people are just shy and they just don't know what to say or how to say it. So please start up a conversation and make sure that you get involved in the resources that are available to you. All right, so let me pull my platform back up again. I'll leave the link and the code that you can use in order to get started on your trial today. And I can pull up any other examples, or I could even set up one that you have as well. If you give me any of your parameters, then I'll be glad to set up a configuration that meets your specific criteria. In the meantime, I'll pull up one that is a custom configuration, which means I purchased indications, or I've written software indicators for my own use. And these are ones that are not available on standard MT4. So if I were to pull one of those up, then I can show you how to use or integrate the system with custom or third-party indicators. Now, if you look on the right-hand side, you can see quite a few different indicators are displayed on the screen for multiple time frames. You can also see on the left-hand side that I've got multiple indications on different time frames. So I've got 3 different indications on my 5-minute. I have 2 indications on my 15 and 1 on my 30. So if I select the configuration and I click edit, then I'll show you how this is done. Let me move over so you can see that. So you can see under my 5-minute window that I have 3 different strategies for coloring these. And that's how I've got 3 different columns. So when I see a column where all of the symbols are aligned, that tells me that trend, volume, and momentum are all working together in order to give me a trade that's potentially starting off and ripe for the picking. On my second time frame, I'm only looking at volume and momentum. Volume and momentum will show me the longer time frame is moving in agreement with the shorter time frame, and it can be a very nice confirming setup for my faster time frame. And the slower time frame, I'm only looking for volume. Now I have access to all of them, but I'm only looking at the volume itself because I know that volume is really a leading indicator, and it will help me to see if it's in agreement with the shorter time frame trends, that the longer time frame is starting to turn in that direction as well. So if all 3 of them are in full agreement, I know I've got a really good trade setup coming my way. Okay, so with that in mind, then I run over here and see that, and just in case, the pound New Zealand is all bullish. So if I were to click on the pound New Zealand, you can see that I've got a really nice bullish trend on all 3 time frames. I've got bullish volume, I've got bullish momentum, and a bullish trend. Here I've got bullish volume and bullish momentum. Here I've got bullish volume. So all of those are in line and in concert. And if I have something that's starting to set up, like the pound yen, notice that I have a bullish setup on the 15-minute, but the others are bearish. So let's click on that and see what's going on. See, I've got momentum starting to change colors here on my 15-minute, but I've got longer time and shorter time frame. See, longer time volume is red, and on my shorter time frame, I've got trend, momentum, and volume all red. So that's what I want to see. I'm looking at this saying, okay, this longer term momentum is green, but I can take the trade because it still hasn't set up quite yet. I want to take this when this aligns up and comes in my favor. All right, so that's the idea. That's what I'm looking for, is that alignment. Just notice something. This is a 30-minute. This one right here should be a 15-minute, so I don't have that one set up right, but I could do that. In order to set these up, you need to be able to look at your data window. So click on the data window icon. It's the little circle with the cross in the middle of it. And that opens up your data window. Within the data window, your indicators should have outputs available. If the output is available and showing in the data window, then it will show you the value it's going to use in the strategy to compare to the current price. So when I look at my configuration, and you see the indicators that I'm using, then I'll show you, for example, the trend. I want to see that my Hawkeye trend indicator, number one, that's the bullish setup. Number two is the bearish setup. And number three is the neutral setup. So this is whenever the trend dot turns green. And this is for whenever the trend dot turns red. And this one shows whenever the trend dot turns white. And I'll show you that here. And close this out of the way. See, notice that the trend dot here is red. So when I move my mouse over this window during a red trend dot, then you'll see on the trend that I have a trend long, I have a trend short, and I have a trend neutral. This is the first position for the trend. This is number one. The second position is the short, that's number two. And the third position is neutral, that's number three. So notice the short, which is position two, is red, is currently triggered. The other two are blank. So all I have to do is check to see if this value is greater than 0 or not. It's always going to be the price that's located on your y-axis. But in this case, I'm just looking to see. So notice the price isn't showing anything because I'm not on it. But as soon as I move over the window on a price value, then that price will automatically update. Now watch that trend. It's currently short, but watch when I go over the white trend dot. It automatically switches to neutral. And then it moves over and goes red again. Neutral, and now goes long. See that? So I'm checking to see that this value is either long, short, or neutral. And that's what I'm doing in the indicator itself. I'm checking to see if the trend number, position number one, which is the long, I'm checking to see if it is greater than 0. If it is, then I want to color the cell green, which is the same color as my trend. If it's not, then I need to check to see if that same indicator, but the short indicator is triggered on, if it's greater than 0. And if it's neutral or in congestion, then I need to see if the third indicator is triggered greater than 0. Any of those are on, then I know that I've got a trend indication. And that output will be displayed on my, on my chart right here. It couldn't be any simpler than that, any straightforward. Now you can see there are a lot of indicators here. So it did take me a little while to get that set up and to use it. So if we do happen to have any existing Hawkeye users in the audience today who would like me to share with them this configuration, I'll be glad to. Just let me know either your name or your email address, and I'll type that in our configuration setup, and I'll share it with you directly right here, right now on our MT4 Professional network. Or if there's any other of the configurations that you've seen that I've done, I'll be glad to share it with you as well. As long as you are a current MT4 Professional subscriber, I can share it with you right now. Ah, Willie, good to see you, my friend. Let me do that for you. So select configuration, edit, share. There you are. Click the share button and it will share my Hawkeye M5, M15, 30 roadkill setup with you. So if you already own the Hawkeye indicators, then now all you have to do is just load that on the setup. So when you should have it right now, you'll receive an email specifying that you received it, and you'll see in the members area, you'll get a notification that you received a configuration from me. Then just click the start or select a configuration menu, scroll down to see that you've actually received it in the inbox. If you have, you can click on it and load it to look at it to see if it works fine. And if you like it, then click the create your custom configuration button, because you can't do anything with it until you create one of your own. So click that, scroll down to the bottom and select the one I just sent you, and then select the yes button, and it will create a copy of that up in the create your own customs area and give it a name. You can change it, modify it, give it new names and parameters, whatever you like. You can do anything that you want with it because it's yours. You can do with it what you wish. So you're very welcome. And if any of you are interested in the actual software itself, then we do have an affiliate relationship with Hawkeye that if you use the link that Claudio shared on the chat box, then you can get a very good discount on the volume package. That's the indicators that you see down here on the bottom, the Hawkeye volume. It does not include the trend or the heat map, but it does include the volume and the volume paint bar indicators, which I believe are probably the best of the indicators. You can get all of those for $97, which is unheard of. $97 one-time fee. They normally charge $495 a month subscription for that software. So getting that for $97 is a steal. And then once you're a customer, that gives you access to the members area. And then inside the members area, then you have access to the upgrade to the other software that's available at a user's discount. And you'll have to contact Hawkeye to see what that discount is or to see if it's still available. But the link that I'm sharing with you now gets you the software for $97. Just the setup there. Let me load that just by itself. I'm leaving MT4Professional right now, but I want to show that to you here. This is the volume package that you'd be getting. You'd get the volume, the radar, the pivots, the wide bars, these purple bars, and the volume paint bars. So all of that would be included with that setup. So make sure you let them know that MT4Professional sent you, and you'll get the $97 price, not the $495 a month price. And don't forget, if you're If you haven't started a trial with us, then make sure and go to the link here, mt4professional.com/trial. Use the code MLK23 to get started on your 14-day free trial. That's 2 full weeks to try the software to see if it can configure and use yours. We have large groups of people using that right now who have found it extremely profitable within the 2-week trial period. And as a result, they continued the subscription and are still with us today. But I want to make sure that you get an opportunity to do that as well. To see it, to kick the tires, you get full-fledged software, all of the pre-configured presets that I've shown during today's presentation, all the features that we've talked about for 2 weeks, absolutely free. And you can cancel at any time before the 2 weeks is done, and you won't be charged a penny. Your credit card will never be touched, and it'll only be charged if you're still using the software after the 14-day period. And again, if you have any questions, or if you need some help, or if you want to schedule a one-to-one configuration session with us, then contact us at support@mt4professional.com. We can do custom configurations. We can do coaching, and we can also give you live one-to-one mentorship as well if you're interested in that. So thank you very much for your time and attention today. I will be here in exactly 2 weeks to go through another presentation. So if you missed anything today, then we go through this training class every 2 weeks. Otherwise, all the information will be available to you either in the Skype room or on our members area website. Thank you very much for your time and attention. Have a great day. We'll see you in about 2 weeks.